We're going to trim the back feet now. We're not going to shoe them. We're just going to trim them. Have a look at them. Try to get some symmetry to them. Again, I don't get aggressive. I'm not going to take that much of that sole out of there. There was actually a stone stuck right there. That just popped out. We'll find the bars. Just define them a little bit. I don't believe we should take off any more sole and length than we have to. I'll just crisp this frog up a little bit on each side. Again, the loop knife makes it very, very simple. Take that little flap off the top. That's enough. We've already evaluated our balance and what we're going to do there. So let's just make a little nipper run now. Not too much. She's pretty flat-footed. We want to get rid of these flares and what I call spikes sticking out the side. And round this foot up to make it function more properly. This rasp is very sharp. With a sharp rasp you can take off a lot of foot fast. But we want to get rid of this and this. And the foot starts to take shape. Horse is going to be barefoot in the back, so we don't want a sharp edge. We want to round this edge up as much as possible. We don't want it chipping, breaking off more. We just want to round it up. There's a little dirt in this. I'm not going to cut it out, but I just want to clean it out. And you can see there's rocks right there. That's a rock. It came out of that. That would pushed right on up into that white line. Probably caused another abscess, possibly. Now let's just see how far it does go. I'll use a nail to clean it out, rather than cut it and make it bigger than what it needs to be. Alright, we're lucky it ends right there. But even though the horse is going to be barefoot, I'm going to go ahead and put some CU in it. And then there's a better chance of keeping some of that rock and debris out of there. Push it as hard as you can, get it up in there. We've rounded up the edges. We haven't cleaned the outside yet, but we'll do that. In doing these videos, we're doing this to show you how we deal with problems. It doesn't mean every foot that you do has to be the same as we do it. We're just showing you how we deal with an issue. Conformation, problems that arise, being able to work well with the veterinarian, and to be the best part of the team that you can be. Okay, alright, we'll trim this right hind. The right hind has the largest flare to the lateral side and the most lateral toe broke off. Again, conservative with the knife, very conservative. Just define that sole enough to where you know where the parts are, the quarters. Make that frog so it cleans, clean it up the back. Let's make a little nipper run. Interesting thing to look at here on this foot, especially this toe. As I pointed out before, it's already broke off out here, but look where Mother Nature's trying to fracture it off there. It's going to end up coming off anyways. So we're just going to get rid of that. We're going to follow that crack right around and cut that off. Rather large flare here. So we're going to take more off of that lateral side. Flare is a lever arm. And the farther out it comes, the bigger the flare gets, the more it's going to pull and separate the white line in here. We don't want to take it completely off, then our wall is gone. But what wall is left, we're going to round it really well to try to discourage it to break. We want the foot to just roll over. Again, we've got some separation there. We'll make a little cut on that just to make sure there's no rocks in it. Put a little CU in it. Probe it a little bit with a nail. See how deep it goes. It runs out, the crack exits through the lateral toe, but it does end there, thank goodness. A little CU in it. Just to make sure. And push it with these. When there's a crack coming out the front and you push on this, you'll see that it'll push the CU right out the crack. And you want to try to get that up in that crack as far as you can. Doesn't hurt to rub a little bit more. If you got it on your finger, clean your finger off anyways. Put it in all those areas. We're just going to clean up the outside of these back feet. Nothing fancy. It's not as cosmetic as it is to just try to deter some of them sharp edges that we put on the outside now. And blend all that in and round it in. It is cosmetic to the eye, but it's also, when you round that off, you're going to deter that flare from getting as bad. Round edges on a trim. You always want a round edge. You don't want a square, sharp edge. You can make it pretty with the buffer. This is the crack that we filled with the CU from the bottom. I can run that buffer around and take some of that sharp edge also.